The following review is not meant to be a guide to the game. The footage, art, music, and sounds used are credited down below. The review is heavily opinionated, but constructive criticism is acceptable of. Cult of the Lamb is owned by Massive Monster and Devolver Digital. Please support the official release. It's Halloween time. A nice lovely time for the ghosts and ghouls to come out and for me to take on a different form other than human. Let's enjoy ourselves for this. You, yes you, take the titular role of Lamb in this game after going through the usual initiation of a roguelike game, namely dying. You are tasked to follow the one who waits below, who I will forever refer to as Sparkles for the remainder of this video, into collecting the beating hearts of the heretics who forsook the crap out of both of you. And also start a cult in some part of the woods. What is this place? Michigan? Obviously, you will at least get one follower that will always love you and will never question your faith, no matter what, and look how cute that deer looks! Aside from starting a cult and needing to go and collect hearts, how does one little cute son of a bitch lamb go about doing either or? Well, you will always start off on a crusade.
DEUS VULT, DEUS VULT, DEUS VULT, DEUS VULT.
Which is to say that this is where the game's combat takes place, in one of 4 dungeons that never are the same every time. If they were the same, then this game is not a roguelike. You are tasked to hack and slash and crash and bash every single monster you see and murder your way through an entire map to possibly get to a heretic who deserves a sweet ass kicking, since they all technically murdered you. This game's mechanics are very simple. You move around using the arrow keys on your keyboard or a left stick if you're playing on a controller. You have a weapon attack button, your titular dodge button, your stereotyped press thing to do a thing button, and of course, the swear button. Or curses as the game likes to call it. You always start off a crusade armed with a randomized weapon and a randomized curse, and you go off on an adventure until you either succeed your crusade, or inevitably die to some bullcrap enemy that threw themselves at you. Oh! Now you may be asking as to whether the heck you're carrying such absurdly large weapons and where the magic comes from. Oh, my lovely cultist, they come from your stylish hat on your head, called the Red Crown since it's alive. What do you do when you die or win in a crusade? Well, now you go play Animal Crossing. Okay. Sheesh. You go and run your little religion that is known as a cult, from making beds to making them serve you faithfully, to making sure their stomachs are full and their butts are clean. You are their caretaker, and they cannot survive without you. Which brings me to my next point. If you die in the Crusades, the followers you find and save are what makes you stronger, like the little god you're supposed to be. Their faith empowers you and can help you unlock weapons, more lives, or in certain circumstances, sacrifice their life to keep yourself going. Their faith also grants you the power to make things better for your cult, such as better beds, and more importantly, a farm to help make your farmers a little bit more self-reliant while you're gone. If you don't like that idea, then never go to the farm to upgrade. Leave it to them to water your plants and do the work yourself like the evil god that you are. So, you've bashed your head on your runs, empowered yourself with the faith of the scant few followers you were gifted and managed to scrounge and save, and have made your way to the deepest part of the dungeon. Congrats! Go and fight the heretic. Harvest their heart! Bring it home to show all the boys and girls. This is how you unlock the important powers of the Red Crown, which, while there are only 4, are important enough to have decision-making be a factor for how strong or cowardly you want to be at the start. Rinse and repeat, and boom! You accomplish what Sparkles wishes of you, and Sparkles always appreciates a dedicated follower, to the point where he does make mentions of wanting you to sacrifice followers in his name. And with that said, we're about to enter spoiler territory. If you want to avoid spoilers, then you may want to skip ahead to this time period right here to avoid what is essentially the end of the game. Got it? Good. Now the ones who wanted to skip ahead are gone. So, Sparkles is so happy that he murdered all 4 heretics that he invites you to his Cloud Kingdom to give you and your cult an audience with him. There he tells you how proud he is, but now he wants you to give him the crown so he can rule the cult and possibly the world in your place like the evil god you were supposed to become. Here you can choose to get an early ending and let him nick you like the lamb you were. The last of your kind, killed by your own savior. Ironic, right? Or...
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
Oh boy, you are treated to a boss fight of the century, with proving you are ready to beat Sparkles by beating his left and right paws of justices, and after a long fought and dragged out brawl, you get to pick the final choice of the ending, whether to kill or rescue Sparkles. If you kill him, then congrats, you murdered the defenseless cat and proved you are just as ruthless as he would have been. If you conscript him, then yay, you have an immortal on your team. The game technically ends after this. This game is a good mix of comparable games requiring resource management and timing the events of your cultish ways to avoid letting your entire cult collapse in on itself and murdering you or leaving you destitute. On the official Hunter scale, I'd give it a proper 8.5 out of 10. With combat that is so fine-tuned and frame perfect on your dodges and spatial awareness, it leaves a rewarding experience for coming out on top. And being able to manage a cult is always nice, especially with the cute little design choices we have. However, the fact that it is a roguelike game means that no one will ever be the same, and getting the perfect run with a god weapon and an enjoyable curse you wish will be few and far in between. The story is rather hidden in specific dialogues that you can find from talking to a specific character bird and the heretics you kill. I've unfortunately had experienced some graphical errors, such as losing the entire map during a crusade and seeing completely nothing while on the main battlefield. Stuff like that can affect your enjoyment of the game. But if this game is ran on a PC, then the score jumps up to a 9.5 out of 10. Because you now have a game with Twitch integration. This connects you with your audience on a much more crazier scale and can create one hell of an experience as you try and convince chat not to hinder you during your runs, or make everyone take a massive dump. You get to enjoy the experience of the game, your chat being a god over god, and the high-octane thrill of the Wheel of Random. Whether you play this on console or PC, you can be sure that there's a hectic time for your trip down to Michigan.